Hi, good morning. I'm Madam Eileen. Today I'm going to do an Easter egg. I'm not sure how many balloons I'm going to need. I am inventing this morning. I'm going to do a pink Easter egg. I'm going to inflate two. And then whenever you inflate a balloon, let it hit the air out. That helps the balloon be soft and movable. If you forgot to let a little bit of air out after you inflate your balloon, then if your balloon has a tail, pop it. No, you give it a squeeze and a hug, and it moves the air into the. So if you have a lot of tail and your balloon's too hard and you tight it, and it's too firm, give it a hug. It moves the air up, and it makes the balloon soft. I'm going to tie these two together. You see, I have an idea. Ideas can be dangerously fun. All right, here we go. How big do I want my Easter egg? Okay. Hand and a thumb, hand and a thumb. That's what I'm going to measure. Hand and a thumb. Starting at the joint, a hand and a thumb. And that's where I'm twisting. And that's where I'm going to twist together. I'm going to put my hand here in this triangle and turn it. And now I'm going to do a hand and a thumb measurement, twist, a hand and a thumb measurement, twist, come to the top here, roll under. I'm going to go a hand and a thumb, a hand and a thumb. That's almost perfect. I'm going to tie that here. So now I have four. There it is. I have four sections. Hand and a thumb, hand and a thumb. This will make 5. Hand and a thumb, hand and a thumb. Oh, that one ended almost perfect too. Wrapping it around, over and under. Now I'm going to pull these apart and then lay them together. That one seems a little short. Don't know what happened there. So you have this shape. We're going to make an Easter egg and we're going to bring it in. So we are going to do blue. Get a blue balloon. I'm going to use Caribbean blue. I'm going to wrap it around, over, under. Then wrap around my thumb. I'm going to tie it. I'm tying this blue balloon in place. I want to pull the balloon in to make an egg shape. So I'm pulled the spokes together to see where I would need to put my balloon. I hold it in place and I take the tail and I sew over and under. Do a bubble of the same size, push it into that joint, and then I loop this balloon over, up, under, and through. Kind of like I'm sewing it basically. Another bubble, push it in, over, under, another bubble. At this point, I'm thinking I'm making my bubbles too wide. They're just getting wider and wider. It's not pulling in tight for that Easter shape. But I'm not done yet. This is inventing and experimenting day. Now, the final gap. Make a bubble the same size, pull it over. Before you panic, always finish. I went around once, and now I'm going to go twice and pull it up on the opposite side. So first went down and under, came up on this side, now went down and under and came up on the opposite side, just like sewing. You know what? That really doesn't look that bad. At this point here, I'm going to break this. I'm going to tie it. So I'm going around my tail on the outside, pulling it all to the inside, catching the tail and pulling it through the knot. So the knot is on the inside of this. Now I want some polka dots. If you've done soft bubbles, this will be possible. If the bubbles are hard, if you made hard bubbles, then you will want to skip this next part and just put a balloon inside and inflate it and call it done. But I'm going to split. I want my next row of color to be right here. So I'm going to pinch and roll and split. And I'm going to go around and try to split it at that same spot all around. Now when you roll it, it's going to want to try to eat the balloons. One balloon's going to want to eat under. So maybe if we try to go in the other direction, grab the next poke over on the other side, we won't have such a huge problem. Now if I gave it some thought, I could have already put these spacers in beforehand. But inventing, that's fun. I've been studying balloons for 9 years. There's a lot in here. I might inadvertently copy someone else's top just because I'm thinking, what's the best way to do something? And that idea pops into my head. So I'm sorry if I accidentally copy somebody's technique. If I ever make that mistake, just comment below, let me know so I can give credit where credit is due. So anyways, I've done that, and you see it changed its shape from the bullet to kind of a wide, squarish. Isn't that interesting how that happened? Okay, so I want to pull it back in with a color of bubble. Let's do yellow. Here we go. Now this was going to be the top of the egg. The same side where I tied the knot, that's what I'm going to do. So all my knots are hidden on the same side. Some people do pinch twists, and then you can hide and tuck the pinch twist inside. But there's more than one way to twist an egg. I want to do the same technique I did before, except the bubbles across is going to be smaller and it's going to be yellow. So I'm going to do a really tiny bubble, push it across, and then sew around. Tiny bubble, push it together, sew it around. Tiny bubble. Now these bubbles I'm making, you do want to be firm. You don't want a lot of stretch. Soft bubbles are going to stretch into kind of a football shape. I want to try to keep these firm and round as possible to create what I want. One way to do that is if I grab the end and I give it a squeeze, trapping the air into this section, I can twist more of a firm, round bubble. I made the bubble. I'm going across, holding it in place. It's putting the thread of the balloon through and pulling it out. Now I just need to do that 2 more times. This last one is tricky. Break that off. Now I'm going to continue going around on the left, around on the right, and then finally around the thumb, inside. Try to tie that knot so it's on the inside of the blood. And now I ask myself, oop, hold on. Okay, now because of all the tying around, sometimes you may get a leak. I'm going to turn this around and show you that this balloon is a lot shorter, skinnier than these balloons. That means it has a leak and it's going to disappear on me soon. So later on, I'm going to have to go back and fix it. I'm going to cut this, tie in a new pink balloon here, and then twist off a bubble, and then tie it to this section here to fix that leak. But if all is well, I'm just going to turn it to the back so you just don't see the leak. Now we're going to do the final row of color. We can put a balloon in here and inflate it. In fact, I'm going to do that just to show you what it's going to look like. I'm going to choose a pearl blue. You stick it into the cage, and then I get my balloon inflator, my filbert pump, get it turned here. See my pouch. Okay. Stick the 11-inch balloon into the cage of the egg. And inflate it till the egg fills out. That's a nice place to stop with our egg right now, but I'm going to go a little bit further. I'm going to do one more row. This is going to be the bottom of the egg. This is going to be the widest part of the egg. So I'm going to split each of these long bubbles closer to the base. If you've made a too strong of an egg, that's okay. You don't have to do this. This is just all decoration. Yep, it's decoration. So it looks like that. That looks pretty cool as is. It kind of flattens it out. So maybe it could sit more for decoration. I'm going to do a green. I'm going to get a bright spring green. Now I'm going to do, instead of a solid line, I'm going to do a row of little bubbles. So I find the one spoke that I'm mounting, actually experiment. I've told you that you could do a pinch twist and hide it on the inside, but I haven't actually done that. So that's what I'm going to do. I put a pinch twist at the end of this balloon to start with, and I'm going to push it on here, and I'm going to roll it around and to the front and back in. That works pretty good. All right, so now 2 bubbles and sew it around. 2 bubbles, push it down, sew it around. 2 bubbles, sew it around. 2 bubbles, connect it, sew it around. 2 bubbles, sew it around. 2 bubbles, and we're here at the beginning, and sew it around. It's a little tricky. I'm having to sew around, pinch, twist, and something went pop. What popped? That popped. Too much friction. But you know, repairing a popped bubble is just a sign of an expert balloon artist. You know you're good if you can fix a pop. Also, if you've done enough twists, nothing else, see, this balloon's not unraveling. That's because this is twisted so well, not letting any air escape. Another pink chrome balloon, a mauve balloon. I'm going to tie it so it has a longer neck. Cut the very end of the balloon. Oh, no, it totally went away 100%. So I'm going to have to start here. I'm going to angle down just a little bit. There you go. See more of my creative desk, my mess. You just have latex likes to stick to itself, so you just have to wrap that tail once or twice, and it's there. Now, instead of wrapping this balloon around the green bubbles, I've just tucked it over and in. See, I just pushed it. And so now, those bubbles are going to be held without being twisted. Now I'm going to make a bubble, same size as the other bubbles. I'm going to see if there's any balloon to catch. I don't see a balloon to catch, but it's very in there, but it might come undone. Push this into place, do a little bit of sewing, push it in, pull it out. Up, yep, see, that one died. But it gave me a long string that I can then cut and use as an attachment point for the last repair bubble. Like these two. There we go, back up. Oh, camera difficulties. That is ever so much fun when that happens. Okay. So you can repair tough areas. Won't look as good as if it was error-free. My bottom has flattened out, but once I get that balloon on the inside inflated, it should look better again. All right, I'm going to put my balloon in. Whoops. I want to attach it at the end point, so I'm going to attach it at the bottom. So I'm going to push it in through the tiny hole. And now I'm going to inflate the larger 11-inch balloon. Any pieces that are sticking out, you can cut, or you can just try to tuck under and out of sight. Some of the bottom bubbles I made too big, and they've actually kind of made more of a triangle shape. You can shape balloons sometimes just by pushing it. Latex has a memory. It likes to remember the shape it had, or the last shape you made it push into. You can see I had one balloon leak. I can fix that another time. So here is an Easter egg for you. Happy Easter, everybody. You know, it could be funny. You could put a pair of ears on this. In fact, I'm going to do that just because it's funny. It sounds funny. And funny things make people laugh. So maybe someone needs to see a bunny egg. So I'm inflating it as tall as I want the ears to be. Tie it. Like that. Come down to the end, split it. Try to split them evenly. Isn't that so much fun? I don't know why, but when I see expert balloon twisters popping balloons, I don't feel too bad anymore about all the balloons I have popped. I'll do shorter bunny ears. So tie that. Find the center, split it. Hello, son. Someone slept in today. Good man. I made some bunny ears, and now I'm going to attach this. Go around. Just go down through one of the holes. It can be one or two holes that you reach in and pull it under. Wrap through the ears. Cut off the extra. And then tuck that in. And that side you don't want to show, so we put that towards the back. A bunny egg! Have a happy Easter. Have lots of fun. See you next time.